Okay, hello everyone and welcome to the 11th installment of this ranking on my palette series that I thought would take me 2 months and ended up will likely take me a year. It's fine. We're here for the journey. Anyway, I am in a very good mood. It's Friday night. I am finally filming and putting makeup on for the first time in 5 days after a very stressful week. I'm drinking a heavy pour of the cheapest and most disgusting Dep wine I could find, and I'm talking about my palette. So, and I'm watching the new season, or the first episode of the new season of Real Housewives of Salt Lake City, so it's just exciting all around. Join me for the good vibes. Anyway, basically, if you haven't watched this series from me before, I will link the playlist in the card somewhere if you haven't watched any of these. But basically, I'm just going through my palettes in batches of 10 and ranking them all together and doing individual swatches and just giving each palette and each shade the love that I feel like it deserves. Anyway, so now we're reaching basically the top kind of half of my collection, the upper half of my collection, and all of these palettes I feel so strongly about. I love them. As I've said in multiple videos, it's just, I love all of these palettes. Some are just ranked higher than others because that's how it goes. Before I start, I just want to give credit where credit is due. Kelsee Brianna J, love her, started the whole concept of ranking makeup, ranking, whatever. So major credit to her, and because we wouldn't be here without her video idea. And oh my god. And Lauren May Beauty, my queen. I mean, if you watch me, to know me is to know that I love Lauren May Beauty with my whole being. Inspired the individual swatches, the up-close individual swatches of each shade. I will link both of their channels in the description box. So let's just get started. Number 52. Now, these palettes, I've been holding off from including them in, or like putting them, I've been trying to put them as high as I can, but they are all shimmer palettes, or mostly shimmer palettes. So as much as I love them as individual palettes, I just don't use them by themselves. So I can't rank them super high. And the brand Adept, I don't know how I feel about them. So anyway, that's just an aside. But number 52 is the Adept Codan. I really like this. I like the shades in here. I think they're really, really pretty grungy multi-chromes, which I love. There's so many shades that I love in here and I think are super unique. I just prefer this less than than the two other Adept palettes that I have, but I mean, don't get me wrong, I adore this palette. And I really like the deep, like black-based multi-chromes in here. They just really, I was gonna say tickle my pickle, and I really hate that came into my mind. Okay. Number 51 is the Adept Hydron palette. Now, when I swatched this palette, like again after a while of not swatching it, the shades in here are so beautiful, so unique, and I absolutely adore this the color story and how it's like purpley blue muted. I don't know. I really, really like it. I just feel so torn on talking about Adept palettes because I love them so much, but I just really don't know how to feel about the brand. Let me know what your comment or in the comments what your feelings on Adept are. Are we feeling good about them now? Do we feel like they've kind of like improved or not? I don't know. Please let me know. It's good for my bank account that I have, you know, decided to refrain from purchasing them for the last little bit, but the way that I love my Adept palettes. And then number 50 is the Plain Jane. I just really, really love the shades in here. I was really battling between this and the Hydron or the Hydron. Never know how to say it. But I just love the, like, how so many of these are like a little bit sheer but super sparkly. And I just gotta say this is my favorite still of the 3 Adept palettes that I have. Moving on, at number 49 is the BH Cosmetics Mimosa palette. I'm actually wearing some shades from this palette on my eyes, and I'm wearing the shade ACI 10 from the Plain Jane palette on my inner corners. But I love this palette. I mean, I love BH's formula. There's just no depth in here, which I'm sure you could have predicted, but I love the shimmers in here. I think they're beautiful, and you know me, I love pinks, so I really love this palette, but because it doesn't have any depth really, I just can't rank it any higher. Number 48 is the Colourpop and Star Wars Darth Vader palette. This is, you know what, I actually think I like this more than a lot of other people did when it first came out. I feel like this actually is pretty close to a matte black. I think it's like a matte black with just red sparkle in it, so it doesn't look like a matte black in the pan, because I know a lot of people were really like, how could you not include a matte black in a Darth Vader palette, which I do get, but I don't know, I really like a red and gray color story. I think it's like perfect combination of shades for like unique grungy looks. Colourpop just doesn't have my most favorite formula, but I do still really like it. But this is where it lies. Number 47 is the Beauty Bay Love Notes palette. You know, my 3 looks 1 palette with this palette definitely changed my mind a little bit on it because I wasn't super enthusiastic about it when I first bought it and tried it, but I enjoy it. I am also wearing the shade Mahogany in my crease today from this palette, but the shimmers really push it over the edge for me. I love the shimmers in here. They're so pretty. I just wish that it had more, at least mid-tone shades, preferably deep shades, but there are just too many light mattes in here for me to rank it super high. If there were more mid-toned and, you know, deeper shades, I would love the color story of this palette. This would be ranked so high, but it's just a bit too soft for me to rank it like in the over the top half. But I still do like it, and I think I don't even know if it's available, so I'll refrain from saying I recommend it. I think I would only, if it's available, I would only recommend it if it's on sale, because there are too many light mattes in that palette. But anyway. contrary, the next palette, number 46, I love because of all the deep mattes in it. The Colourpop or Kid You Not. If I could see myself honestly running through, like panning the shade Nuh-Uh from this palette and like making an exception and buying a backup of this palette because I love the deep mattes in here so much. Just because it's a monochromatic palette, I just didn't want to rank it super, super high. This is kind of where it falls in the middle of the pack in terms of palette as a whole and color story, but the mattes in here are gorgeous. Shimmers, again, like Colourpop typically is, are fine, but not my favorite, but the mattes in here are stunning. I'm not sure how everyone feels about Colourpop right now, but I don't know. I still love that palette. Number 45 is the BH Cosmetics Summer in St. Tropez. I always feel like conflicted about these BH palettes because I love the formulas so much. Again, my main gripe is that I just wish, like, for example, this blue and this purple were like 2 tones darker, and then it would be so beautiful for me. But the depth, I feel like I'm such a broken record. The depth in here just doesn't quite reach the level that I'm looking for, but I love the shimmers in this palette. I think they're so, so pretty. There's a lot of really pretty duochromes. I really like the color story. I think it's colorful and fun, but not enough depth, so it doesn't get to be in like the top half. number 44 is the BH Cosmetics Party in Puerto Rico palette. Oh, I would have ranked this higher again if it had more depth. Again, very mid-toned, but I love the shades in here. Again, like I mentioned before, pinks and warm tones sign me the fuck up. They're still my shit. So I love the shades in here. I love so many of the metallics, like this grungy bronzy shade, this entire row, honestly, of like gold, bronze, orange metallics, this pink metallic, even this like cool toned brown. I love them. I just wish there was more depth. And lastly, to round out this video, number 43, the Beautiful in Barcelona palette. There's something about this color story that I absolutely adore. And I'm not typically like the biggest fan of half blue, half neutral palettes, but the way, like honestly, all of these BH Travel Series palettes, I think, have really, really great color stories, but I just feel like it's so good. I also went to Barcelona with my girlfriend, so it has like a nostalgia in a way element because I, can recognize so many shade names. I think it's just kind of funny, which is also another reason why I kind of love this series from BH. Let me know if you've tried any of their new stuff. I actually haven't watched reviews on it, but just the fact that Makeup Revolution bought them makes me so sad because I'm scared to watch reviews. Anyway, but yeah, I don't know, I'm so drawn to this color story and the colors that they've chosen that I ranked it higher than some of the other BH palettes. I just wish that maybe like one of these mouths was a little bit deeper aside from this like sparkly black, which is fine, but if there was like a really deep brown in here, amazing. But again, I still really, really enjoy this palette. Watching this video. I really genuinely appreciate it, especially because my uploads have been a little bit inconsistent recently. I'm just trying to still figure out my schedule with my job and stuff. But nevertheless, I will leave you now because these videos are typically very long. I will go and edit this video so I can hopefully have one video up this week. And yeah, thank you so much for watching. I would love to see you in my next one. Bye.